Good evening, everyone, and welcome to high school basketball. Boys basketball here tonight on STSPN.com from Everett High School, home of the Seagulls, as the Seagulls host the Monroe Bearcats. I'm Mark Aucutt, along with Todd Elvig and Sarah Elvig, bringing you all the action here on STSPN.com, brought to you by McDaniel's Do-It Center, GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric, Gene Johnson Plumbing, Airfield Espresso, Adrenaline Fundraising, and American Family Insurance, Sally Petty Agent. As we get ready right out the gate for these two teams to meet, we want to meet the starters. First of all, for the Monroe Bearcats, they come in with a record of 1-0 in Wesco play, 1-2 overall. Obviously, the season is quite young. So let's take a look at who they have going, as their head coach is Justin Prone, and he announces this starting lineup. Starting as a 6-foot junior guard will be Steve Coonley. Also starting as a guard for the Monroe Bearcats, a 6'1 sophomore, Ethan Hogan. In that lineup, a 5'11 guard, a junior, Brock Brown. Also is Tyler Hogan, 6'1 senior guard, as he will be rounding out the lineup with Reed Schaefer. Reed Schaefer is a 6'3 junior guard. So again, you've got Coonley, Hogan, that's Ethan Hogan, Brock Brown, Tyler Hogan, and Reed Schaefer for the Monroe Bearcats. And for the Everett Seagulls, for their starting lineup, they have Isaiah White. He is a 6'4 sophomore guard. Also, 6'3 senior guard Jaden Tekla-Michael. And starting as a guard, a 6-foot senior Peter Wilson, as well as Daniel Savovic. He is a 6'1 junior guard. And a big guy in the post, 6'6 junior Hayden Conexus. He is definitely going to take up some space in there. So you've definitely got a height advantage for the Everett Seagulls. They also come in with a record of 0-1 in conference play and 1-2 overall. So the two teams overall are 1-2. And then the Monroe Bearcats picking up a victory in their last time out in conference play. So conference play just getting underway. And you've got 16 teams in Wesco 3A. And, Todd, we got a nice crowd here today for this one.
We do. That Hayden, he was our player of the game last game we were here.
You're talking about the Hayden Conexus? Yeah, definitely, for sure. As both teams have some Haydens on them. You got Hayden Cresswell and Hayden Lindsay, also from the Monroe Bearcats. So we'll take a break and then come back with play-by-play action here tonight at Everett High School on STSPN.com.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. They are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do-It-Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
pledge allegiance to the flag the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back to Everett High School. Joe Richard Court, home of the Everett Seagulls. Mark Aucutt bringing you the action here tonight as we have these two teams with even overall records. And take a look at Monroe and how they got to this point. They're 1-2 overall and 1-0 in Wesco. They lost to Woodinville to open things up on Tuesday, November 30th. That was at Woodinville, 77-63. And then lost at Cedar Park Christian in a close one, 46-44 on December 3rd. And then picked up a victory in conference play, 66-48. That one taking place on Friday, December 10th. So they come in and also face this Everett team at 1-2. Go over their games here very shortly as the season just getting underway, running from early part of or late part of November until the early part of February. It's just nice to have things back to more normal. As a tip there, no doubt about that, is Hayden Conaxis taps it over, and they say they're going to redo it.
They said he was too tall?
He said he was too tall. Yeah, right. Did they making sure everything's officially done here. Jeff McClellan, Chris Safarakopoulos, and Scott Campbell are the officials for tonight's game. We'll see if he does the same thing. He does. Makes it look easy at 6'6". That one's out of bounds. It'll be Monroe basketball as we get started here. A couple of ticks off the clock here. And the Bearcats will bring it out of backcourt. That's Brock Brown. Up top now, Reed Schaefer drives into the paint very nicely. And there is Conaxis blocking it out of there. As Todd said, he was player of the game last time they were here. And already he's making his presence known. It's 6'6". And he is just a junior. Nice drive to the hoop that time. And that is going to be good for Daniel Savovic. He averages about 13 points a game. They have 3 players in that range for the Seagulls. Let's see what kind of defense Everett puts on right here to try to hold them from getting in there. And we got a foul on a push-off at the tail end of that one. 2 shots are coming up. Well, that is going to go against the Seagulls' first foul in the game. Foul is going to go against Daniel Savovic, his first foul. Send a player to the line for the Monroe Bearcats as they trail 2-0. Steve Coonley is at the foul line.
I see Bobby Thompson there's pacing back and forth
already getting started going with that. Makes the first foul shot, averages 15 points per game. Just a junior, and they have 3 juniors in their starting lineup. 1 senior, 1 sophomore. Across the way, 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore in the starting lineup for the Everett Seagulls. Seagulls in the white going from your left to right. Monroe trying to force them outside. They're going to try with a shot there, and that one's going to, I think, be out of bounds call is the indication, is it's going to give it back to Monroe. Monroe in the black uniforms. Everett in the whites here at home. Bearcats blasting into front court right now. And again, Coonley with a long shot. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Way past even NBA 3 as he now has 5 points. So he's outscoring Daniel Savovic 5-2. That's the total score of the game so far here in the first quarter. Conaxis, no problem down low. A great pass to find him that time by Isaiah White. that's part of the key, too, is finding where your teammate is, knowing where he's going to be at. And, of course, he's a big target and the big wingspan there. Monroe outside the circle, going to try to drive in. They've tried a couple of drives so far early in the game. Not going to happen that time as White quickly with the rebound. The outlet pass, they go quickly down the other direction. And knocked out of bounds. It should still be Everett basketball. Just about 2 minutes into the first quarter here at Everett. And a lot of people coming over from Monroe. A fair amount right there in the seating section across the way. Everett band over on the far right side. Canaxis as they get a cutter coming through. That's Peter Wilson. Back to Canaxis. Nice soft touch for the big guy. That's 2 points. He now has 4 in the game, and the lead switches hands for the second time. Underneath, yeah, definitely some contact down low, which will give 2 shots to Ethan Hogan.
I would expect there to be a little bit of contact tonight between these two teams.
Yeah. Obviously trying to establish a presence down there, and longtime Wesco rivals. That one's off the rim.
Well,
Hogan averaging 9 points per game.
Monroe being 3A now.
Yeah, now down to 3A, which is definitely a change after being 4A for a long time. There's one that's going to finally find a home in there. And tied up at 6. Tied for the second time. You see the pressure defense applied by Monroe as they force the turnover. Good job by the Bearcats to get that one back. And that's with the size differential, something you might see them try to do is to put the heat on as they get it back real quick like there after the missed shot. Now Monroe trying to work for another one right here, and looks like a travel call. Yeah, he was dragging his feet on that particular play, thinking about a little bit getting ahead that time. Now for Monroe, a couple of changes. Caden Casa and Hayden Cresswell. Cresswell is coming in there as a 6'5 junior. Casa's a 5'10 senior. He's tried to take it in a couple of times. Oh, that one doesn't go anywhere close. Way too far off the mark, and Monroe's able to get the rebound and come out of backcourt. Good job finding him over on that left side. Canaxis going for the rebound. No doubt about it. He got bumped into, and that's going to be a foul against Monroe. Foul goes against Tyler Hogan, his first. Team foul number 1. They'll bring Hogan out of the lineup. And again, the press continues for Monroe as they're trying to force to get that ball back very quickly. Trying to do something so they don't get it down in the hands. There, that didn't work out as Peter Wilson pops it in, and Everett's got back to a 2-point lead. But they want to try to get it out of back court and to be front court for them as they try to prevent the ball going inside to the high post that with Canaxis down there and is effective. He's already got 4 points. He stepped out of bounds, chased it down, and that's going to go back to the Seagulls. 4:29 to go here in the first quarter.
Great having you come up from all those high-profile college teams there.
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy stretch right there. It's nice to get going again there. Once again, this time a three-pointer, Canaxis, and he has a total of 7 points already, 7 of the 11, and right the other way. Kunle coming through, connecting on that. He's got 8 points. Just like that, it turns around. And quick pass inside. That's a good job by Peter Wilson, cutting off that baseline and taking the feed from Isaiah White. Well, these two teams sticking right with each other so far. Just off the mark that time. Good rebound. Nice follow-up that time by Ethan Hogan over on the far side. And there's Canaxis who gets the rebound and then fires it as they'll go the other direction. Excellent ball movement. Just a couple of passes to make that happen. Peter Wilson gets it done. He's got 6 points already. And a timeout has been called by Monroe. We'll take a timeout, 3:32 to go here in the first quarter, as Everett is leading 15-9 on STSPN.com.
Introducing Cord, the new recruits. Our Seattle area plumbing company just keeps on growing. Every day, every job, every person is a champion on our team. How we support each other to support our customers is changing the game.
Hey, Gene Johnson Plumbing and Heating, Corey here. How could it possibly be this great to work for a plumbing company? Gene Johnson Plumbing really sets the bar. They are trend setting the nation.
Back to live action at Everett High School. Everett up to their biggest lead of the game at 6 points, 15-9. They're working the ball inside really well. Hayden Canaxis with 7 points, and also Peter Wilson with 6, as he's just made some nice cuts to the basket. Canaxis with the steal that time, then he throws it away. Caden Casa over to the far left side, and that one coming off the rim.
Boy, these Monroe boys, they are really getting after it.
Yeah, they are playing really hard in there. They're just not connecting on the shots in the early going, but they're working hard, that's for sure, between the press and then just on the offensive end. What they've been able to do is the ball goes out of bounds, and it is Seagulls basketball. So Everett with an opportunity. You hit a three-pointer here. You double up the score on the Monroe Bearcats, as the Seagulls have been very effective. And Conaxis has been out there the whole time, as well as Peter Wilson. And so has Isaiah White. There's a big three-pointer off the right side coming through Daniel Savovic. He's now got 5 points. Those are your 3 scorers. So they do that. They double up the score, 18-9. Well, the foul is going to be against Savovic. That is his second foul, 3rd team foul. You've got to watch that, as they're going to pull him out of the lineup. And Monroe will inbound in backcourt, right in front of, near their bench right there. And now for the Everett Seagulls will be Jamiri Reed. Reed is a 5'9" senior. Looks like he's spent a little time in the gym too. He's going to do a good job taking up, some space and he's a physical player. Miss on the shot. Scramble for it. Reed gets a hold of it, but we got a travel call as he didn't quite have his footing set, and it's going to turn the ball over to Monroe. Monroe facing an uphill battle suddenly. They had closed the gap, but then Everett turning it on. Everett got off to the 11-6 lead, and then Monroe tightened it up to 11-9. But Everett has scored 7 straight points.
Well, I'll tell you, Monroe has hit that hoop a bunch of times. If they find that range, it's going to catch up quick.
Well, the guy that's been really connecting with a couple of three-pointers is Steve Coonley. Nice step in that time. He really worked hard for it. Hayden Cresswell with his first 2 points of the game. Monroe needed that basket. Yeah, he got hacked going in that time. Isaiah White will go to the line. White averages 13 points per game. One of 3 players in that range for the Everett Seagulls. Foul will be against Hayden Cresswell, his first foul. Second team foul. 2 shots for Isaiah White. White has not scored so far in this game. Stays that way after the first foul shot. Coonley's going to come out of the game. Ethan Hogan will come back in, and now for the Everett Seagulls checking in is Isaiah Parker. Parker is 6'3" junior. So Everett's got plenty of height, even bringing off the bench. White is 6'4" and just a sophomore. Connects on the second foul shot. So Everett up by 8 points at this time. And again, for Monroe, it's every trip down court is very important to try to really be patient and work for the best shot they can get. And that time he had the right idea taking it in, but came up short and had to alter his shot going to the basket that time, Todd. Now the Seagulls in front court. Good job finding his man underneath. And even if he didn't get a shot off, he still got pushed taking it in. That's going to go against Cresswell, his second foul. Team fouls are even at 3. Some substitutions for Monroe. Brock Brown, also Tyler Hogan is back in. Inbound pass. Solid defense over on the far side by Hogan. Now up top is the Seagulls having to look around, try to find something. Hayden Canaxis has been out there the entire quarter, and he's looking for the ball on the far side. Not going to get a pass that time. We got a held ball coming up as Monroe went for the basketball. It's going to go and be Seagulls basketball with the possession arrow. Jamiri Reed will inbound on the far baseline. Everett up by 8 points at this juncture. Monroe has done a pretty solid job at forcing them outside, but in that case, White just moves past it and pulls up with a mid-range jumper and makes it a 10-point lead at 21-11. Now that is the biggest lead for the Seagulls in this one. Seagulls have a lot of weapons they're throwing at Monroe. Solid move that time, but Reed Schaefer, excuse me. Reed Schaefer takes it in.
Do I need to call somebody?
Schaefer getting, might have to. I don't know where my voice went there all of a sudden.
Well, you know I can't take over for you.
No, I know that. So we got a foul coming up, and that is going to be called against Brock Brown, his first, 4th team foul. At the foul line is Hayden Canaxis. His first trip to the line, misses the shot. He's got 7 points. Got him earlier in the quarter. Coonley comes back in. Caden Casa will come out for the Monroe Bearcats. One more shot. So far, Everett is at 2 for 4 from the foul line. Seagulls up by 9, 7 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Worked well to try to get inside that time, but just couldn't quite finish the deal, Ethan Hogan. And it's a 9-point lead for Everett, showing their experience inside game, and they take the 9-point lead into the second quarter here at Everett High School on STSPN.com.
Hot summers in Snohomish County lead to homeowners taking steps earlier each year to keep their home comfortable. If you're thinking about air conditioning for your home, now is the perfect time. Air conditioning costs hundreds less when installed with a new furnace. If you're unsure about the age or dependability of your home comfort system, our consultants will help you determine the best solution. Our experienced technicians make sure our customers are comfortable by keeping their heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems working well. But we believe comfort is more than that. We want you to have a comfortable buying experience, to be comfortable with our technicians working in your home, and on top of that, getting a value you're comfortable with.
Welcome back. Second quarter action here at Everett High School. The Seagulls leading 22-13. Leading scorer for them is Hayden Canaxis. He's got 8 points, 6 points for Peter Wilson. On the other side, Stephen Coonley with 8 points. Drive in. You got a hand on him that time. 2 shots on the way. The guy who's been out there throughout, Peter Wilson, will be called for the foul. That's his first. Team foul number 4. And so Brock Brown goes to the foul line. Monroe 3 for 4 from the stripe in that first quarter. And that one spinning out of there. Each team with 4 team fouls. Yeah, he connect on either one of them. Oh, I think we had a lane violation. Official calling a lane violation. Again, the officials, Jeff McClellan, Chris Safarakopoulos, and Scott Campbell.
Boy, we want to give a big shout out to them because, wow, we're short on officials.
It's amazing. There's a call for, he misses it again. So 0 for 3 essentially on that trip to the foul line, but only 2 of them count. Yeah, it's been a rough stretch for all sports to trying to find enough officials to take and oversee these games. Nice move. Just a little off the mark that time, but we've seen some good moves from the sophomore Isaiah White. There he goes again. He's got a wide open lane. Shouldn't have any problem this time, and dunks it. White slamming it with the 2 hands, and it's an 11-point lead for the Everett Seagulls, their biggest lead of the game. 24-13. That's a beautiful shot over there. 11 for Coonley now. They needed that one. 2 more shots coming up. You start to see those fouls accumulate. That'll be the 15th foul against the Monroe Bearcats.
You know, speaking of officials, I talked with the head official, Jeff Matson, and he said don't be surprised if the schedule changes a little bit in January because they're so short.
Isn't that something? I know when we were looking at putting things together, as the foul is on Reed Schaefer, and that's his 5th, or the 15th foul, first on him, and a miss by Peter Wilson at the foul line. But when we were getting things going originally, there was a schedule and then had to revamp it a little bit or had to take that into consideration. Wilson gets one of the 2 foul shots. 25-16. Monroe with the basketball in front court now. At every trip down court, even though it's still relatively early in the game, but Everett has set a good tone, and Everett's playing some tight defense up top now outside the arc, pulling up with a shot. Making it is Ethan Hogan, his first field goal of the game. And he did a really good job of working past that double team and able to drop it in. Had a good look that time, Isaiah White, and didn't connect on it. So here's an opportunity for the Monroe Bearcats to get just a little bit closer. Off the mark with the shot, but he did get fouled. So that's going to bring 2 shots and a chance to get within 5. Foul is on number 32. That's Isaiah Parker, his first foul. Team fouls are even at 5. First shot on the way is good by Schaefer. He's got 3 points in the game now. Number of substitutions. Daniel Savovic is back in for the Everett Seagulls. Well, those foul shots can get you back into the game. Brock
Especially
Brown
when it stops the clock.
Yeah, and gives you a chance to reload just a little bit. Isaiah White, keep an eye on him as he cuts through. Now, they've had the switch off there. Conaxis has not scored for a while, but he has been out there. We have a push off. Another 2 shots coming up. This foul is going to be against Reed Schaefer, his second, 16 foul. White goes to the foul line. He's 1 for 2 from the line, has 5 points in the game, 2 in this quarter. You see a lot of potential from him. First shot is good. Everett's biggest lead has been 11 points earlier here in the quarter. They led 22-13 at the end of the first quarter. Pretty much theirs throughout that quarter. At one point, Monroe did lead 5-2. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout as well. 5:53 to go in the second quarter. It is Everett 27 and Monroe 20.
You can almost smell those fresh ground beans. Airfield Espresso at Harvey Field has been serving delicious cups of gourmet happiness for over 25 years. Excellent service and lasting relationships is their top priority. Stop in and experience the kindness and joy that exude from this special place, one cup at a time.
Welcome back, Everett High School. Mark Aucutt, Todd Elvig, Sarah Elvig, and the Monroe Bearcats lead it 27-20 on STSPN.com. Monroe doing a good job of climbing back to cut that 11-point deficit to 5 points before Everett picked up those 2 foul shots. Now a block. That is going to be against Jaden Tekla-Michael, who was in the starting lineup but not out there very long after that. His first foul, 6th team foul. Those are even, getting close to bonus time as Monroe will inbound. They got Coonley out there who's hit 3 3-pointers. That definitely tightens the gap if he can connect them. And one of those was way outside the arc, right up on top. And he works it inside. Good ball movement, finding Ethan Hogan. That's where Monroe's shown some strength, is working inside. They have missed a number of shots inside too. Otherwise, this could very well be about a tie ball game. That's a beautiful shot right there.
Wow.
What a rainbow from Tekla-Michael off the pass from Isaiah White, a 3-pointer, and Everett's got it back to an 8-point lead. The other direction, nice and easy. Conaxis gets the pass from Tekla-Michael, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Just saw how quickly things can turn around, as it was down to a 5-point lead. Now in a couple of possessions, doubling that up. That's going to be off Monroe, so the Everett Seagulls get the ball back with a chance to build up to their biggest lead in the game. Their biggest so far has been 11. Jemiri Reed is checking back in for the Seagulls. Cody Edelbrock is in now for the Monroe Bearcats. As the Seagulls looking around a little bit now, going inside some. And again, that's Conaxis going to draw the foul. He's 1 for 2 from the foul line, getting his second trip to the stripe here with 4:25 to go in the second quarter. That's going to go against Hayden Cresswell. That'd be his 3rd foul and the 7th team foul as Conaxis goes to the foul line. Looking sharp on that shot. Got 3 points in the quarter, 11 in the game, and he is the leading scorer for the Everett Seagulls and tied for the game high with Coonley. Tyler Hogan is in now for Monroe. 11-point lead, matches their biggest of the game, and it stays that way. So important to have a good rhythm and touch on those foul shots too. You never know if this game gets close, that could come into play. And timeout has been called. Timeout called, looks like by the Everett Seagulls. So we'll take a timeout as well. 4:14 to go is a full timeout. 33-22, Everett on top by 11.
Hot summers in Snohomish County lead to homeowners taking steps earlier each year to keep their home comfortable. If you're thinking about air conditioning for your home, now is the perfect time. Air conditioning costs hundreds less when installed with a new furnace. If you're unsure about the age or dependability of your home comfort system, our consultants will help you determine the best solution. Our experienced technicians make sure our customers are comfortable by keeping their heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems working well. But we believe comfort is more than that. We want you to have a comfortable buying experience, to be comfortable with our technicians working in your home, and on top of that, getting a value you're comfortable with.
Welcome back here to Everett High School. Everett Seagulls leading the Monroe Bearcats 33-22, second conference game for both teams. Everett started out Tuesday, November 30th with a 66-57 win at home right here against Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson out of Federal Way. And then the Seagulls lost 83-62 to Lake Stevens. That was on December 7th. And then last Friday, December 10th, they lost in a big way to Shorecrest, 60-38. Shorecrest off to a good start, very good. 4-0 overall in Wesco 3A, and they are tied with a number of teams at 1-0. Inside, way too inside as he crammed it under the rim, and Monroe will get it back, and they need to start getting some points here, or they're going to find themselves down by 15 or 20 with the way the trend has been going. Soft touch. Coonley coming through, gets it done. 5 points in the quarter for him, 13 in the game, and he averages around 15, so he's well on his way to that here in the first half. And gosh, without him, they would not be in too good a shape. We're on the left side. Coming through, that is Savovic, his second three-pointer, and it's a 12-point lead for the Seagulls. Steal and making it look easy. Isaiah White, 6 in the quarter, 9 in the game. A 14-point lead for the Everett Seagulls here with 3:13 to go in the second quarter. Seagulls turning on, flicking the switch, and their defense good to work on keeping Monroe up high right here. Hard to get past him at 6'4", as Isaiah White will intercept it. Now comes the other direction. Soft touch, gets it done. And there's going to be a timeout called by Monroe. 8 points for White here in the second quarter, 11 in the game, and a 16-point lead for the Everett Seagulls, their biggest of the game, with 2:51 to go in the second quarter here on STSPN.com.
Tyler and Matt, Waterline.
Hey, how you doing? We're here in the U District on a Thursday, replacing all the buried galvanizers in the line.
Each of our homes depend upon their connection to water and sewer.
Hey, we're under the porch, putting in all new PEX, replacing all the galvanized, including the hose bib.
Over time, these lines age, change, and break down.
We're making our last connection. That's capping an old galvanized water line, and we should be done for the day.
Our Waterline team can help to make sure your connection runs smooth, healthy, and clean.
Welcome back here to Everett High School. 40-24, the Seagulls are leading Monroe, and this starts a stretch of 6 consecutive home games for the Everett Seagulls. That's pretty unique in high school basketball, as they're playing tonight, then have Stanwood on Thursday night. We'll be here for that. Also, Wednesday, December 22nd, they will host Kamiak.
That's a doubleheader.
Yeah, that is a doubleheader, and we'll be here for both of those. Monroe with the basketball coming out of backcourt, down by a big chunk at 16. Everett's defense up high has been really good, very swarming, and forcing Monroe to make adjustments and really stifle them as they've tried to work inside. And the Seagulls, with that front line that's been out there the whole half, has just done a great job. And then you see another example of it right there. That was a good move that time, and Savovic almost got it back, but Monroe will get a handle on it coming up on 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Just a little bit short that time for Coonley. As White will slow things up and has that big 16-point lead to work with, and an opportunity to just kind of move some guys around and work for that good shot. Like to see those passes as they're working it around. Now I got to get things in motion. 5 seconds on the shot clock, now 3. And better fire it off. Gets it right there as the buzzer was going off. Peter Wilson, you can't really execute any better than that as they move the ball around so nicely. Now on the other end, must have just got a piece of him as Coonley went in.
I don't think they counted that basket.
On the other end? I thought I saw it go up. It was 40.
Well, I saw the ref down here
waving it. Oh, he said it did not count?
Waved it off.
It looked like he had the shot fired before the buzzer. That's going to go the foul against Conaxis, his first foul, 7th team foul. Both teams now in the bonus. As Coonley will go to the foul line with 2 shots. He's got 13 points, 8 in the first quarter. He's hit 3 3-pointers. Now 3 for 3 from the foul line. Monroe's going to make a substitution. Michael Skursky will come into the game. Everett's going to make a couple of changes, and coming out is Conaxis. He has just played a great first half of basketball. 11 points out there, and definitely a go-to guy at 6'6". The junior. Next one is good. So he's at his season average of 15 a game, but a big 16-point lead for the Everett Seagulls here as the first half is winding down. We'll take a break at halftime and then come back for the second half. You got highlights coming up at halftime. There you go.
We have all the scoring from the first half we'll play during the halftime.
Excellent follow-up by Coonley right there. Taps it in for his 16th and 17 points of the game. Everett very patient like they were on that previous possession, although that one gets away from him a little bit. Turnaround jumper, perfect. Wow. Just so nice. Great touch by White. That's something we're seeing a lot of from him. He's got excellent touch, and the pass down low inside from Skursky to Tyler Hogan. Hogan makes it, and now it's down to a 14-point deficit, but that's a long ways to go. 17 seconds to go in the second quarter, especially with the way Everett's been playing and moving the ball around so well. And that's what throws the opposition off kilter, is that they've got to deal with Everett just working the ball so nicely. And that's the end of the first half. So Everett scoring 22 points in each quarter, and they lead this one by a score of 44-30. So Monroe able to get a little bit more this time around. They got 17 points in the second quarter after 13 in the first quarter, but still a very commanding lead for the Everett Seagulls as we go to halftime. And we'll take a break here on STSPN.com.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Plumbing technicians and apprentices. Working together, learning together, masters of the craft, passing on their skills and knowledge for the trade.
I'm Gene Jr., and we are growing fast. As one of the senior techs, I really enjoy sharing and teaching. Really because I'm selfish and it makes me feel good.
Getting paid to teach and learn valuable skills that can support your life, family, and dreams.
Hi, I'm Renee. I'm an apprentice and I like to learn from all these different plumbers. I want to be a plumber to provide a good lifestyle for myself and for my future dreams.
Hot summers in Snohomish County lead to homeowners taking steps earlier each year to keep their home comfortable. If you're thinking about air conditioning for your home, now is the perfect time. Air conditioning costs hundreds less when installed with a new furnace. If you're unsure about the age or dependability of your home comfort system, our consultants will help you determine the best solution. Our experienced technicians make sure our customers are comfortable by keeping their heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems working well. But we believe comfort is more than that. We want you to have a comfortable buying experience, to be comfortable with our technicians working in your home, and on top of that, getting a value you're comfortable with.
Introducing Court, the new recruits. Our Seattle area plumbing company just keeps on growing. Every day, every job, every person is a champion on our team. How we support each other to support our customers is changing the game.
Hey, Gene Johnson Plumbing and Heating, Corey here. How could it possibly be this great to work for a plumbing company? Gene Johnson Plumbing really sets the bar. They are trend setting the nation for a plumbing company. My wife, for the first time in years, wants to bake and cook for my team. Gene Johnson Plumbing is my new plumbing home away from my own, and I will stand by that until I retire. I'm happy.
Experience respect, pride, and appreciation for doing great work.
The second half of action on STSPN.com at Everett High School, home of the Seagulls. Everett is leading Monroe 44-30 at halftime. Seagulls led 22-13 at the end of the first quarter and really got into a bigger groove after that. The mark that really stands out, they got it up to 40-24 and really just doing a great job moving the ball around. And we'll see more of that, I'm sure, here in the second half as these teams get ready to go here. Seagulls going now from right to left in their white uniforms. Monroe in the black uniforms with the orange and white letters and trim. As the Seagulls will, again, watch them move that ball around. They were doing a great job more and more in that second quarter as they just had a great, oops, that didn't go too well for them though. Didn't know quite where his teammate was, and as it turns out, Monroe gets the basketball to their first time here in the half, and there's Kunle coming through. He just puts points together. He's gotten a total of 19 in the game. He's the leading scorer for both teams. Isaiah White leads for Everett with 13. He had a very strong second quarter with 10 points, as that's going to go out of bounds. And the Seagulls will get it back. But we've seen that with this lineup out there. Hayden Kanaxis, Daniel Savovic. There's White underneath, misses the shot. Looked like he should have had that one drop in for him. As Monroe now will come the other direction, and there's a reach in. So they've got the offensive end right in front of their bench for the second half. Same with Everett, obviously. As the foul is going to go against Savovic That is his third foul. First team foul against the Everett Seagulls in the second half. We've got a timeout called. We'll take a timeout as well. 7:13 to go, third quarter, and a 12-point lead for the Seagulls. 30-second timeout called by Everett.
You can almost smell those fresh ground beans. Airfield Espresso at Harvey Field has been serving delicious cups of gourmet happiness for over 25 years. Excellent service and lasting relationships is their top priority. Stop in and experience the kindness and joy that exude from this special place. One cup.
High school, Monroe with an opportunity right here to cut the deficit to 10 or 9 points as they're forced out up high, and they've had some success taking it in like that, and he does his job. Ethan Hogan driving to the basket on the left side, gets fouled, gives him a couple of shots. That foul is going to go against Jaden Tekla-Michael, his second foul, second team foul, and 2 shots for Hogan. He's 1 for 2 from the foul line, has 5 points in the game. Fans on that one. Not good. Brock Brown missed a couple in that second quarter that could have helped him out too. Connects on the second one, down to an 11-point deficit. And out of bounds it goes. Last touch by the Seagulls. It's going to go back to Monroe. Here's another opportunity, and they've had success cutting through the lane over on the far side, on the left side of the lane, and getting in there. That's something that seems to have been working for them. They've set some screens and worked on making that approach work, but they also need to close up on that finish too. And it goes right that same spot, takes it in, just can't get that finish. It's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by the Everett Seagulls as Monroe will keep the rock. Coonley will inbound on the baseline. As mentioned earlier, a smaller lineup for the Monroe Bearcats. Team's pretty even as far as age and experience is concerned. Nice move. He did what he's supposed to do. Backed off his opponent with that move and finished it up nicely. Down to a 9-point lead for the Everett Seagulls. They've had it up to 18. And Coonley, he should have just, not a wise move. He should have just used the glass. That's pushing it for him to try to dunk it at that point. Just use the glass, and that cuts it down to a 7-point deficit. Instead, Everett gets the ball back and can crank it back up into double figures.
He's going to be doing laps tomorrow.
Yeah, that's one of those you're going to wish you had back now and later. Wilson, the senior, down low underneath seat, and then they make it work the other direction to Savovic. Wilson's been doing a good job. He's scored 9 points, but also with his passes have been very precise. And a miss that time. So the game starts swinging the other direction after Monroe had picked up some momentum. White takes it in. He's going to be called for a foul, or draw the foul. Foul goes against Reed Schneider, or Schaefer, his third foul. First team foul. Isaiah White at the foul line is 3 for 4 so far in the game.
You know, one
Monroe
thing
will be Caden Casa. Go ahead.
One thing we haven't heard tonight is the seagull call. The last game we had all kinds of seagull noises coming from the crowd.
They're loud, but we just haven't heard that yet. And he connects on the next one. White 5 for 6 from the foul line. And it's back up to a 13-point lead for the Seagulls. Just gets that one pop at it. And the Seagulls right there to get the rebound and come out of backcourt. A chance to expand this lead and put some distance between themselves and the Bearcats. Coonley coming out, tries to get the steal. Steps out of bounds.
Here's a question for you. What kind of a noise does a Bearcat make?
Probably like a scratching cline, like a cougar type, that type of thing. Loud. Nice move. 21 in the game. He's one of those guys that shows a number of tools down there. You don't necessarily expect it coming as Wilson gets the basket. Now Coonley back into front court. Pull-up jumper, he's taking some of this on himself and getting the job done. 6 points in the quarter and definitely keeping Monroe in the game. He has 23 of their 39 points.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been a huge factor out there.
Workhorse.
And definitely, but doesn't look gassed or anything. Looks like he's right in a great flow. That's a three-point basket. Savovic connecting. He's got 5 in the quarter. That is his third three-pointer in the game.
That was just pretty.
It was. We've seen some nice three-point shots in this game. That might have been the nicest one. That and the Coonley one way out up high past the three-point arc. Piece of cake down the other direction. Canaxis gets it done. It's back to a 16-point lead for the Everett Seagulls with 3:25 to go in the quarter. And the Seagulls just only allowing them to get one shot, getting the boards down there and making it happen to process it the other direction.
Boy, it's not because of a lack of shots by Monroe. I mean, they've been putting them up.
No, they're getting a pop at it every time, but now they're not getting more than one shot at a time. And there's another example of it. Taking it, you saw it. We had a kick. We have a technical foul. I think that's going to be a technical against Conaxis because like he was kind of pushing off with a kick. I'm going to see if that's, I saw something down there. Monroe maybe chipping at him a little bit there. Obviously they're frustrated because they're down by 16 points. But the official indicated a technical foul, and now they're talking things over, make sure that they get the call right. But it looked like the two, Conaxis and then I was trying to see exactly who was back there for Monroe, and they had some contact. That's it looks like a flagrant foul. So that would have been against Schaefer, which would be his 4th foul and 2nd team foul. The Schaefer, they say, instigated it as Conaxis was just reacting, trying to get him away from him. Now, you don't want things to get out of control here either. So going to the foul line is Isaiah White. White 5 for 6 from the line so far in the game. He's going to get a couple of shots for the technical. Misses the first one. And the second one coming up. Also, Everett will have the basketball. White has 16 points in the game, and it's a 17-point lead. Seagulls will inbound in backcourt with the 17-point lead and very much in command of things as it had got down to a 9-point deficit, and Monroe had an opportunity to cut that down, but Steve Coonley, who's had a great game with 23 points, tried to take it in for a dunk, and things started turning around a bit after that as Everett just took control, and now Monroe will come into front court. They're really up against it, down by 17 points at this point in time, and serious momentum in favor of the Seagulls. And the Seagulls doing a really good job of switching off. Again, just the one shot fired by the Bearcats. Everett going to make a substitution. Daniel Woodard seeing action here in the second half now. We will have the selection of the Adrenaline Player of the Game afterwards.
Well, that's why they're playing so hard.
That's right. Now, Hayden Conaxis is not eligible. Is that right? Because he won last time.
Yeah, he has to take a couple games off.
Yeah. He's had a solid game. I'd say Isaiah White would be leading candidate with the great performance he's had. And we've still got a ways to go yet. And those guys have been out there throughout virtually the entire game. I don't think White sat yet. I'm trying to remember if I've seen him come out of the lineup. Monroe going to head the other direction, and Everett just setting up defensively and playing just as hard as what we've seen throughout this game. As you see right there, there's a steal by Jamiri Reed, and looks like an offense. No, traveling. Traveling is called against Reed as it's going to go back the other direction. And Coonley's going to come into the game. They gave a chance for him to get reloaded, freshen his legs up a little bit, and come back out there. I think he's one of those guys, too, that's tough to have out of the lineup. He doesn't want to be out of that lineup. He's had, again, 23 of the 39 points for Monroe. But Monroe really struggling right now. And Everett continuously putting on the good defense. That was a nice drive. Cresswell with his third and fourth points of the game. And sometimes you just got to take it at them.
Yeah, I don't think these guys know that they're tired half the time.
Yeah, and at that age and such, and they're so happy to be able to get out here and play on a regular basis again.
Get after it.
White spins it in there. 5 in the quarter, 18 in the game. Averages about 13 per contest. And he is lighting it up today, and not just with the points, but just moving the ball, passing very well. Oh, tough break right there. They had the right idea. He just needed to use a little bit more of the backboard. And that's something that players need to keep in mind throughout, is that you've got that board there. You've got the square to put it in off of to try to make it work.
Bank is open.
The bank is open, yes. White, 23 seconds to go. And again, they just have doing an excellent job of moving the basketball. He had a great glide towards the basket that time, but didn't quite use the board enough again to get the job done. And a great block that time. Conaxis forcing it down the other direction. Great ball movement. Savovic gets it, and that's the end of the third quarter, 60-41. And that's the biggest lead that the Seagulls have had in the game. Now 19 points. 60-41 is the score at the end of 3 quarters heading to the fourth. And we'll be back with quarter number 4 after this.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do-It-Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Welcome back, and we're going to the fourth quarter. Mark Aucutt, Todd Elvig, Sarah Elvig here at Everett High School, home of the Seagulls. The Seagulls leading 60-41 going into the fourth quarter. It's been pretty much Everett throughout this one. Broadcast brought to you by McDaniel's Do-It Center, G&S Heating, Cooling, and Electric, Gene Johnson Plumbing, Aerofield Espresso, Adrenaline Fundraising, who sponsored the player of the game, which we'll select at the end of this quarter, I would think, with the way things are going. American Family Insurance, Sally Petty, agent. Monroe with the ball, turnaround jumper, good.
Wow, nice.
Cresswell. One of the 3 Haydens between the two teams. The other one for Monroe we haven't seen yet, Hayden Lindsay. We've certainly seen Hayden Conaxis there he is right there, driving into the basket for the Everett Seagulls. Draws the foul, got a couple of shots coming up. Interview the player of the game after this one. Foul that time was called against, looks like Skursky, his first foul. Third team foul. Everett has 2. A miss on that one for Conaxis. He's now 2 for 5 from the foul line. Connects on the second one. Back to an 18-point lead now. And if you're Monroe, obviously down by a huge amount and not really finding ways consistently to get baskets. That guy has, but overall, no. You just need to, that was a good follow-up. At least they get now 3 shots at it. Tough luck. Couldn't connect on any of those 3 shots, and they were so close. Isaiah Waite goes in. That's going to be an offensive foul. I have him for just 1 foul, 3 team fouls. Monroe's going to get it back. But again, Todd, if you're Monroe, I mean, that 1 point where they could have got it down to 7, that was really the turning point here in the second half.
Yeah, you know, they've had a couple of good little runs, but they just can't seem to get over the hump.
Yeah, and now down by 18 points this late in the game. You just want to kind of work on some sets that you can carry forward. Try to catch up a little bit, but that's a 9-possession game right there.
Well, not unsurmountable, but the way Everett's playing,
Everett's
it's
just
gonna be
doing look at their defense, just matching up so nicely, and they switch off. They're just working really hard, and it pays off right there with another interception, steal that time. White's going to take it to the basket. He's going to be fouled. Tekla Michael is going to check back in too.
I think he's gimping a little bit. I think he got hit on the leg there.
Cresswell called for his 4th foul. 4 team fouls. And White's going to go to the foul line. He's got 18 points. He is the leading scorer for the Everett Seagulls. In for Everett again will be Jamiri Reed. Coming out, Peter Wilson. Wilson's played a lot through this game.
He's had a solid game.
He really has. And offensively, he's got 11 points, but he's done a great job defensively out there. (62-43), and stepping out of bounds. And this is where frustration really sets in if you're Monroe. Everett trying to even up their conference record in Wesco 3A at 1-1. And Everett's still got a lot of starting players out there. There's looks like 3 of their 5 starters are out there. Make that 4 of 5 and a miss. And just a 1 crack at it as the Seagulls will come out of backcourt, and there it is. Conaxis. That's a chance for them to take their scoring average up. 21-point lead is the biggest lead for the Seagulls in this game. At some point, I would think Bobby Thompson might bring in some other players that may not see as much action. Cresswell gets the basket. We have a timeout called by Monroe. 5:43 to go, 4th quarter. 64-45 as Everett is up by 19 on STSPN.com.
We at Gene Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean on time, and professional.
McDaniel's Stewart Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington.
Back here at Everett High School, taking a look at what Monroe's got coming up. They will play against Snohomish at home coming up on Thursday. And then they have Bear Creek in a non-conference game. That is on Tuesday the 28th. So they have 12 days off. They won't play until after Christmas. A noon game at home. And actually that's part of, it looks like a tournament they're involved in, be at Liberty High School. And then they've got 4 games, conference games coming up, including Linwood, Cedar Crest in there. Ball batted around and finally ends up, Everett just keeps getting opportunities. And Monroe's finally going to come out a little higher and try to get the ball, knocks it out of bounds, but they're trying to break things up. Here late in the game, a 19-point lead for the Everett Seagulls. And the Seagulls still have that, a lot of those regular players out there. There's only one substitute out there, and he just had the ball right there. That's going to White. Good defense by Monroe underneath that time by Cresswell, who's also playing with 4 fouls. Over the top, not going to happen that time. And a backcourt foul going to be called against the Bearcats. Everett will have the basketball as the foul is going to be called on Skursky, his second. 5 team fouls, and this late in the game, Todd, 5:03 to go. I don't think some of that stuff is as pertinent as just trying to hang in there. And
yeah, I think Monroe has got plenty of energy. They just are not taking time with the shots.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shots where they've gotten a decent look, but they just haven't been able to close on it. Speaking of closing, there's Savovic. He hits another one. He's got 18 points now and has hit 4 3-pointers. Inside, good defense by the Seagulls. 22-point lead is their biggest lead in the game. There's 3 more for Savovic. Wow, what a night he's having. 21 points.
Yeah, he said not so fast with White.
5 3-pointers. He's just like kind of a quiet 21 points as he just keeps lighting it up. He's in the second half come up with 13 of his 21 points. White's has been spread more steady throughout the game. He's hit some good free throws too. More of an inside game type of player. Less than 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and a 25-point lead. Underneath, following up is Conaxis. 5 in the quarter, 18 in the game, and a 27-point lead. Everett on top here. They are going to pick up the W. That's a beautiful shot off the right side by Ethan Hogan. 11 points in the game for him. White's just going to take his time bringing it into front court. And the Seagulls really are going to have a nice stretch of season coming up with those 6 home games in a row, counting this one. That and what we're seeing out here tonight, they have been playing so well together. It just depends on who's coming up against them, and some substitutions for both teams. Going to see a couple new players in. Pernell Facey and also Laith Dersey are both in for the Everett Seagulls, giving them an opportunity to get some playing time. Brock Brown back in for the Monroe Bearcats. Yeah, so next up for Everett is on Thursday when we're here and they host the Stanwood Spartans, and then Kamiak will also have that one on STSPN.com. So nice to have that consistency of coming in here, and just a great facility.
Absolutely, and if you're watching and you want STSPN to come to your house, talk to your AD.
There you go. That one's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Monroe. 72-48. Lead's been 27. That's not going to fall in there, but still some great chances by Savovic and the 5 3-pointers made in this game. 2 shots.
I don't know about that one. He looked a little out of control on the way in there.
White is called for his 3rd foul. But again, still a lot of the regulars in there for the Everett Seagulls. I guess looking at it now, we have a substitute. Ty Bloomfield joins the lineup for Everett. Bloomfield is a sophomore at 5'9". Everett has a grand total of 2 sophomores on their team. 7 seniors. And of course the height advantage in this one. Driving in, the soft touch. Connecting will be Ethan Hogan. Now he's put together a 13-point game.
How tall is White?
White is 6'4".
Oh, no, we don't have an extra large shirt.
Oh, no.
Oh, timeout.
Well, timeout has been called. 2:04 to go in the 4th quarter. And a 21-point lead for the Everett Seagulls, 72-51. Back with more. Hear the Everett band in the background, Everett High School, and a nice gathering here at Everett High School. A number of people coming over for the student section from Monroe and giving their all to support the Bearcats, but it's been all Everett throughout this game. Inbound pass now. Jacob Taft is into the game, had that inbound. Count the basket. Casa gets his first 2 points of the game, plus he was fouled. Foul goes against Taft. As soon as he comes in, he gets called for a foul. Each team with 5 team fouls and 1 foul shot for Casa. Well, got it under 20 points. It was up to 27 points. So they were able to whittle 9 off of that deficit, make it look a little more respectable out there. Stolen. Yeah, another foul. We've had a lot of whistles blown in this game. 2
a lot
shots
of them late.
on the way. Yeah, late whistles. New player also in, Colin Stout, called for the foul. First foul, 16 foul, and at the foul line is Ethan Hogan. He gets the 2 shots. Now Everett switching off, bringing a number of starters back in. Everybody they just brought in is a starter. I don't quite understand that this late. I guess looking.
Well, Bobby's got a plan.
There you go. Maybe just see how they look.
Probably just making sure that they
don't give it away. Yeah,
they can finish a game.
Yeah, that's underneath. Isaiah White connecting on the basket. That'll be 2 shots. White's going to be called for the foul, and that'll be the 7th team foul. Now it looks they're doing line changes, so I think they're just trying some different. Now it makes a little more sense. They're trying just different combinations. They're going to sub out the 5 they just brought in and bring in a new 5, and I think they're just trying to look at some different combinations which that makes sense to see how they go with different sets. And there's times when it's this much of a deficit or a big lead if you're Everett that you can experiment with some things. You can have a practice within the game, essentially. Hogan gets that one. Everett up by 17 points with 1:37 to go in the fourth quarter. Facey takes it a little bit too hard. There's going to be a blocking foul.
I think they're getting a little chippy down there now.
Yeah, you got to watch some of that too. That looks like it's going to go against Hayden Lindsay. So Lindsay does get in the game and gets called for the foul. As Facey will go to the foul line. He has not scored a point in this game. Just getting to see some action here recently. And timeout has been called. Looks like a full timeout called by the Monroe Bearcats. We'll take another timeout, 1:32 to go in the fourth quarter, and Everett up by 17.
You're watching STSPN!
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Welcome back. Again, we'll be here on Thursday night. It'll be Stanwood and Everett here at the pit at Joe Richard Court at Everett High School. At the foul line is Purnell Facey. Gets the second one to fall. Yeah, if you look down there at this point in time, you'd think that this game was just a couple of points difference, but the way that the Seagulls are coming out playing the defense right there, but even these guys coming off the bench, they don't want to give any points up. Monroe with the putback, not going to fall. And then we got the hack over on the far side. So it just kind of prolongs things out here. Seagulls called for their 8th team foul. And 1-1 coming up. Or like Monroe with their 7th, I'm sorry. It'll send Everett to the foul line. Jacob Taft, who came in a couple of minutes ago, get an opportunity to try to pick up a point in the game. He got called for a foul. There you go, nice shot. But yeah, it's Stanwood, Kamiak, West Seattle Kings, and Arlington for Everett coming up all at home after tonight. So this is their second home game of the season. They opened at home on November 30th in that non-conference win against Thomas Jefferson.
And we were here.
And that's when Conaxis had the big game, right?
That is right.
20-point lead, under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Another 2 shots. Monroe with 17 foul shots here in this game. And they've missed 5 of them.
I have a feeling that Bobby's going to be talking to some of these players about late game fouls.
Yeah, I guess the one thing is they're just playing tight right to the end. And some of these guys now the guys all out there are reserves, so they're getting some action chance. But it's a good opportunity for them to do some learning out there and get some playing time. Pressure defense put on by Monroe. Taft, the junior, handling the ball as the guard right now for the Everett Seagulls. But this is going to wind down. We're under 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, and this is going to go to the Everett Seagulls. A win for them would take them to 2-2 will get them up to that point overall, and they go to 1-1 in conference play. For Monroe, they drop to 1-3 overall, and they go to 1-1 in conference play. As Everett's just going to kind of wind it down. Bobby says slow things down. So he's had a chance to look at some different combinations. And that's something, too, just thinking ahead, and what he probably was thinking about, or has been, is to carry forward to that game coming up on Thursday against Stanwood. Certainly not trying to run the score up or anything, but just get some different looks out there tonight. 77-57, that's the final buzzer as the game, 77-59, is wrapped up. And the Monroe Bearcats have a tough night out here against the Everett Seagulls. Everett outscoring Monroe 17. So 77 in that grand total, 59 for Monroe. Actually, Monroe coming through with an 18-17 outscore of the Everett Seagulls in that fourth quarter. That's the only quarter they outscored them. So, but it's just some points down the stretch and from the foul line to help Monroe get almost up to 60 points in this game. So we're going to take a timeout, and then we'll have the player of the game sponsored by Adrenaline Fundraising right here on STSPN.com. Again, the final score, Everett 77 and Monroe 59.
Hot summers in Snohomish County lead to homeowners taking steps earlier each year to keep their home comfortable. If you're thinking about air conditioning for your home, now is the perfect time. Air conditioning costs hundreds less when installed with a new furnace. If you're unsure about the age or dependability of your home comfort system, our consultants will help you determine the best solution. Our experienced technicians make sure our customers are comfortable by keeping their heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems working well. But we believe comfort is more than that. We want you to have a comfortable buying experience, to be comfortable with our technicians working in your home, and on top of that, getting a value you're comfortable with.
Scoring tonight for Monroe Bearcats, Steve Kunde, 23, Ethan Hogan, 18, Brock Brown, 1, Hogan, 2, Reed Shaker, 4, King Kussa, 3, Hayden
You stand up so that I get this in the background.
Okay.
For the goal. Now facing 1, Isaiah Wright,
21, yeah.
3, Jacob Capp, 2, Peter Wilson, 11, Daniel Savovich, 21, and Hayden Kanaxis, 18. Balls play Thursday night.
Somebody's coming with him.
Home game Thursday night.
So we get, okay. So, oh, I didn't, and I'm trying to recognize you from up here. Is it Savovich?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I got you for, what did he announce you had? How many points did he say?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, he's the, okay, because we went with him as player of the game, but we'll interview you too. How many points did you say?
I don't know.
Oh, I think. Welcome back here. I'm Mark Aucutt, the post-game show here on STSPN.com as we have a couple players here and just taking a look at how scoring went in this game. And not just scoring, but Daniel Savovich, that's right?
Yeah.
And we got 21 points for you, and your three-point shooting was fantastic down the stretch there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell us about how you got in your groove as the game went along.
I just catch ready to shoot at all times, and I just, catching rhythm, the shot goes up, be confident in my shot, it's going to go in.
And it looked like you guys, once you got deeper into the game, were doing a good job of moving the ball around really well.
Mm-hmm.
It almost seemed like you got a little bit more deliberate to just slow things down and look for those good shots.
Yeah, I mean, when we play the game at our own pace, we can do great things. So we just took control.
Yeah, and you guys, I mean, with your experience and your height and everything like that, it was fun to watch just the different sets you had going on out there and the defense, forcing Monroe to alter their shots and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, congratulations. Good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll look forward to seeing more of those shots. There's a player of the game from Adrenaline Fundraising T-shirt for you. And we got Isaiah White here coming on very well. We'll get a shot, a photo shot here coming up here from Todd as well. Go ahead and stretch it out. There you go.
Sweet.
All right, so let's see if I can bring this around. There we go. I got a little more room than that way. So we're going to give it to Isaiah. Isaiah, great job out there. We chose you as the we'll have them both co-players of the game from Adrenaline Fundraising, but just very similar as to how you guys got started. And at first, Monroe was kind of hanging in there, and then you guys really got in a good groove.
Yeah, I mean, we started off a little slow. We were playing good the whole game, I think, but I think second quarter we just elevated and played our game. We got out there and we extended the lead by a lot. We started a little slow in the third quarter and then extended from there.
Yeah, and again in that second quarter, because they were kind of hanging in there with you, and then you guys just looked like you got right where you needed to be in a groove there, moving the ball around. And talk about that, some of the stuff you work on to get those plays to where you're finding each other, know each other is on the court.
Yeah, we work a lot on the fast break, knowing where each other's at. Pushing and pulling, it is, stuff like that, just to get in position to score every time.
And you just seem to keep elevating your game as you went along and hitting all those inside shots, and then your foul shots were excellent too.
I mean, I started off with the air ball. I just kind of thought past that, and I got in a little groove, I think, in the second quarter, and then free throws were falling sometimes, so that's always a good plus.
Just a sophomore, how long you been at it with these guys? How long you been playing basketball?
These guys, most of them is my second year. With this guy, I mean, I've been playing with him for like half a year. But, yeah, it's just good. We always have team chemistry. We're like a family around here, so it was easy to.
And Conaxis, he's a fun one to try to get the ball to at 6'6" there, but
yeah.
You're also 6'4", so that's some to throw at teams right there.
It is.
And then you got Stanwood coming up on Thursday.
Yep.
So here, congratulations on co-player of the game.
Thank you.
And there's your T-shirt. And there you go. Congratulations. And
thank you.
Thanks again for coming up, both you guys. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on Thursday night.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. So our co-players of the game, as they both had a great job, as Isaiah had 21 points, and we also have Daniel Savovich coming through with 21 points as well. So, again, we're going to wrap things up here, and that'll do it for tonight. 77-59 the final score as the Everett Seagulls come away with the 18-point victory. We'll be back here on Thursday night, and it'll be the Stanwood Spartans against the Everett Seagulls here on STSPN.com. Mark Aucutt for Todd and Sarah Elvig saying winning is for tonight, sportsmanship is for a lifetime. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday.